Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about 10 things that you absolutely must know before you go on an NCL cruise. Let's go talk about it. Hey everyone, John here from Bite Size Cruises. Welcome to our channel. If you are interested in all things cruising to get some great information so that you can plan and go on an amazing cruise vacation, you have come to the right place. Today we're going to give you 10 things that you absolutely must know before you go on a Norwegian cruise. First up is pack your patience. Norwegian tends to be a little bit less efficient than maybe Carnival or Royal Caribbean or Celebrity or any of the other cruise lines that you've been on. Not that it's going to take forever, not that they're awful at it, just in my opinion, on over 25 Norwegian cruises, I've cruised out of New York, Miami, Port Canaveral, New Orleans, all over the place. NCL generally tends to be the slowest and the least organized. Sorry, even Boston. Boston was probably the worst of all of them. But when you get to the port, don't get there super early in the morning. I know a lot of people, if you've been on Royal Caribbean or Disney or anything like that, you can get there a little bit earlier and check in and get on the ship right away. Norwegian does not do that. Generally, they start boarding around 11:30 a.m. So first people on board are going to be people with accessibility needs. Then you're going to get the Diamond, Platinum, Sapphire guests. Then obviously the Haven guests, people in suites are going to get on early, and then they're going to start with boarding numbers, and then it becomes extremely chaotic. You may wait a long time. My best advice is to either get to the port at your specific time, or even just wait a little bit to get on the ship a little bit later than you normally would. I've tried this many different ways. I've gotten there very early. I am lucky now, being Sapphire, I do get to get in that first little group there. However, here's the other thing. Once you get on the ship, since the pandemic and since some cutbacks have been made with service, even though the gratuities are going up, the service fees are going up, your rooms are not ready until 2:30 in the afternoon. So if you do have carry-on, I generally only cruise with carry-on. I wind up wheeling my luggage around with me for like 3 hours if I get on the ship at 11:30. So recently I've tried to get on the ship a little later, maybe around 12:30, 1 o'clock. I can go grab lunch, go to my muster station. By the time I'm done all that, I make my reservations for dinners. I then can head to my cabin and just dump my stuff off, get changed, and enjoy embarkation day instead of being stressed out in the terminal and walking around the ship with all my luggage. So just something to think about. I do love to get on the ship early. I love to walk around and experience everything right away, get that trip started, get your vacation started quickly. However, in my experience, it does become a little bit frustrating. So number 2, absolutely positively make sure you download the NCL app before you go on your cruise, and make sure you check in on the app. This is going to speed up that embarkation and that check-in process a little bit for you, so that when you get up to the counter, you don't need papers, you don't need anything like that. You're going to have your app, you're going to have your passport or your birth certificate and driver's license, and you're going to be able to check in right away. They're just going to ask you a few questions. If you've been sick or anything like that, you get all that out of the way. They're going to take your picture again, hence the inefficiency, and then get you your card and give you your boarding number to go sit down. And then once you're on the ship, their app does function really well. It's missing a little bit of descriptions and details that I think would really make it great, but it does work well. You can make reservations right on the app for your entertainment and your dining, and you could see everything that's going on the ship, as well as your onboard account, and see how things are going there. So those are the first 2. Next up, before your cruise, you can pre-book your dining and entertainment. I would highly recommend doing this, especially if you're traveling with a group. Get those dinner reservations and your entertainment reservations locked in. So some advice for you is, in the app or on your computer, when you go to reserve these things, you're going to see weird numbers for reservations. This is something that I've talked to Norwegian about a lot. Obviously they don't open up all their reservations on the app or online pre-cruise because they want to leave it for people who are not tech savvy when they get on the ship to be able to make reservations. So sometimes you're just going to have to make reservations for more or less guests than you thought you were, and then when you get on the ship, you're going to have to fix those reservations. I can never make a reservation for one. I travel solo a lot. You would think with the focus that NCL has on solo cruisers, I could make a reservation for one. I cannot, so I always have to make them for two and then tell them it's just me. So just keep that in mind. Usually you can make those anywhere from right before your cruise to about 90 days out, depending on what level you are in the Latitudes rewards program. So next up, tip number 4, keep in mind that NCL has a particularly young fleet of cruise ships. So some cruise lines like Holland American or even Royal Caribbean have some ships that are 30 some years old, all the way to like the brand new latest and greatest. NCL does have a few of those older ships, but they do have a lot of new innovative ships. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at what type of ship is right for you. Remember, those newer ships are going to be larger, around 4,000 to 4,500 passengers at dual occupancy. The older ships are going to be smaller, around 2,000, and there is a little bit of in between with the new Prima class, somewhere in the 3,500 range for guests on board. Also keep in mind there are wildly fun and entertaining things to do on the ship, from race car tracks to laser tag, and everything in between. So there will be a bunch of things to consider when you're looking at the different types of ships, finding that attraction that maybe is best for you. So next up, tip number 5, if you are planning on sailing to their private island, they do have a few private islands. They have Great Stirrup Cay, which is in the Bahamas, right next door to Perfect Day at Coco Cay. And then they have Harvest Cay, which is in Belize. If your ship is stopping at Great Stirrup Cay, for the foreseeable future, there is no pier there, which means they have to stop in the ocean, anchor down, and then they tender people to the island. If there is any sort of inclement weather, you will not be going to the private island. I have missed the private island 3 times in the past year out of 4 attempts. So just be aware of that. Sometimes it's like minor wind. Sometimes if it's raining and it's a little choppy, they just have zero tolerance for going to that island unless the conditions are perfect. So if you're booking a cruise, don't book it based on just Great Stirrup Cay. Sadly, it's an amazing island. It's like a toned down version of Perfect Day. It is very much a beautiful beach and resort feel. There are some fun things like zip lines, and some other things to do there, but it is a little more serene and laid back if you are not into the theme park feel of Perfect Day, Royal Caribbean's private island. Next up, let's get into the free at sea. We are in tip number 6 here. Free at sea is an amazing deal. What free at sea does is it gives you 4 to 5 different things that you can combine together with your room to give you some amenities when you get on board. You'll get some internet minutes, you'll get some specialty dining, you will get shore excursion credits, you can get the drink package as well as airfare sometimes included in your free at sea. Just be very careful with your free at sea when you go to book it. Have your travel agent or yourself compare the rates without it and with it to see if you're actually getting a great deal. Remember, if you even book that free at sea, you still have to pay the gratuities for the drink package and for your specialty dining. Specialty dining is not bad. It's about $12 to 20 some bucks for your for that per person for your gratuities. The drink package, however, is going to be 20% of that normal rate for the drink package, which is about $1,000 for your cruise. The whole package is about $1,000. So you might be paying $200 or some dollars for that per person. So again, you have to think about, am I going to drink this much? I think $200 is a pretty good break-even rate for the drink package. It's only probably 2 to 3 drinks per day, right? If you're having cocktails. So I still think it's an amazing deal. You do get that $50 excursion credit per port for the first guest, which I think is amazing. The internet minutes to me are silly at this point. You get like 120 to 150 minutes of internet, which is really nothing. If you turn your phone on, you know, obviously it's a couple hours and you're done. So I still think it's an incredible offer. There's also Free at Sea Plus, which would be another $300-ish on top of that. That's going to give you 2 more specialty dining. It's going to give you the premium drink package, where if there's a Starbucks on board, you can go to Starbucks unlimited. I think that's also a great deal. It also turns your internet into unlimited internet. So keep that in mind if you're looking at that. That is a pretty good value there, but you know, it's called Free at Sea, but nothing's free. So always make sure you compare and contrast, or you check with your travel agent to see if it's really the best deal for you. Next up, number 7. This is one of my really positive pro tips for you for NCL. There is so much space open to the water, particularly if you're on anything from Breakaway to Getaway to the Breakaway Plus class ships, which are Joy, Encore, Escape, and Bliss, and then Prima and Viva and Aqua soon to come. Those all have the waterfront or ocean boulevard on deck 8, which is almost entirely around the ship. There's outdoor dining. There are hot tubs. On the newer ships, there are pools. On Prima and Viva, there's pools on deck 8. And just these sprawling outdoor spaces where you can kind of avoid the crowds, avoid the crowd of the main pool deck. You have these beautiful places to sit, places to eat, gelato, cakes, cupcakes, cookies, the whole 9 yards. So I love that. I think that's an amazing just advantage, and something that NCL has really pioneered. Royal Caribbean gets a ton of credit, as they should, for innovating and pioneering things in cruising. Norwegian's done a lot as well for being one of the kind of big 3 cruise lines, so to speak, with Carnival and now MSC coming up there into the 4th or 5th spot. Norwegian pioneered the freestyle concept where you could eat whenever you want, eat at restaurants, all these different things. A lot of this outdoor space, this waterfront, pioneered by Norwegian. Specialty dining really pushed to the forefront by NCL. So they are really big innovators in the space as well, and this is one of their big advantages. Number 8, keep in mind that you have gratuities that you have to pay. They are $20 per person per day. It is by far the highest of the big cruise lines, so just something to be aware of there. 2 more things. Number 9 is solo cruising. If you are a solo cruiser and you don't want to get stuck paying that double occupancy fee, if you don't know, when you book a cruise, even if you go by yourself, you're generally paying for 2 people. You're paying for double occupancy on that room. So when you look at the room, it might say like $900 or $1,000 per person. And then when you get to checkout, it's $2,000 something if you're by yourself, because you're paying for double occupancy. So on Norwegian, they have studio cabins. Now those cabins are very small. However, it's fine for 1 person. I love it. I think it's an amazing opportunity. They have solo inside cabins, the studio cabins, solo balconies, solo ocean view across the entire fleet. Some of the newer ships, most of the newer ships, again from Breakaway on, have studio lounges where they coordinate activities. You can meet other solo guests. They have drinks and snacks, and you're the only ones that are allowed into that space. That's amazing. So keep in mind that Norwegian really does have the solo cruiser in mind, and they do have a lot of different things set up for solo cruising, especially that not having to pay double occupancy, which I think is amazing. Last but not least is my least favorite thing of NCL, which is once you get on the ship, there is a significant amount of nickel and diming. In my experience, they are the most aggressive with trying to get you to purchase or do other things, like the go-karts, like the darts in arcade, pool tables, the laser tags, some of the specialty dining, which is actually getting a little bit better, but your bill can run up really quickly. Bingo, Wheel of Fortune, all of these things cost extra. And you do see more people going around trying to convince you to do more things that cost more money. It's just something to really be aware of. Just keep that in mind. Also, they are the only cruise line of the big ones that do not allow you to bring soda, water, juices, things like that on board. They will stop you and tell you that you cannot do that. So just keep that in mind as well. These are our tips, tricks, and 10 things that you absolutely should know before you book and go on an amazing Norwegian cruise. I love NCL. It's the cruise line that I've cruised on the most. I love their ships. I love their entertainment. I love their food. And we just want you to be ultra prepared for when you book and go on one of these amazing cruise vacations. If you have any tips or tricks, please list them below. Let us know your comments and your feedback. We would love for you to subscribe to our channel. Put out a brand new cruise video every single day. Thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Happy cruising and see you tomorrow.